let's get back to work.
What would you say to a situation, for instance, if the Senate was to reconvene, albeit under what you call the word now, under emergency? Can that happen just so that we're able to see a situation where we tackle the issues of the INEC requirements and the funding?
That's what I thought they should do. I thought this is an emergency situation. Because what I heard the senator said is that the budget was submitted late for INEC, the INEC budget. It's also the borrowing plan issue. These are issues that goes to the heart of the live wire of our democracy and our continued ability to fund projects which are critical to this country. And I think it doesn't need one political party or another to only tell members to do their patriotic duty. I think it is incumbent upon the presiding officers of the National Assembly to look at this and say, hey, you know what? Let's reconvene and rededicate ourselves. Even if it is for the optics of it. Because, like I said, 8 out of every 10 Nigerians, that's 80%, believe that National Assembly should reconvene. If you don't heed to that call, then who are you serving?
So there's a poll already. Okay, so doesn't that mean that, if they reconvene, they're still going to wait for that committee, wouldn't they?
But the pressure will be on, and then other works can go on. There are other things to consider. It's not only about the committee.
You already said that, yes, the party will put pressure on their members who are heading those committees to first.
I think even if the party is not doing it right now,
they know that they should do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the agenda would then be on resumption. The two paramount issues that you'll be looking at is the removal of the Senate President, and then also INEC.
Yeah.
It's all there in the papers already.
Who said that now?
And as a matter of fact, the chairman of the APC, Adam Soshomole, is insisting that Saraki must honorably resign from being the Senate President.
Well, I think that's an oxymoron, first of all. An oxymoron.
You don't agree with him?
No, hold on. That's an oxymoron. You cannot say must and say resign, and say resign. Must and resign. Resign is voluntary.
Honorable thing.
Resignation is voluntary. Must is mandatory. So I don't think you can say must and resign at the same time. I think he is calling for the moral conscience of the Senate President through convention. Since re-advent of democracy in 1999, that those who are in presiding offices are those who are in the majority party. But it's not a legal requirement. The only thing look, like I said earlier, we have to work the numbers. There's no shortcut. No amount of press conference or no amount of cyberbullying or social media tweeting can get the Senate President out if we don't work the numbers. We just have to work our numbers. And we're working the way up. If we want to get the Senate President out, we just have to work our numbers. It's a numbers issue. It's a numbers game.
But are you concerned? Because, I've heard so many people say, well, much as it's going to be very important for us to look at this one, because part of the issues that Senator Baribe was talking about, he's suggesting that, well, on second thought, the President they passed this service-wide votes. There were funds voted for that. He is of the opinion that, they could actually also fund this request for INEC from that particular item. Isn't that possible?
Well, I don't know the mathematics of finances as much as maybe the senator does. So I don't want to veer into something that I'm not really very conversant with. But I do know for a fact that there are so many times that we have been able to do some things on the executive side that the Senate or the National Assembly would have to query us to do that. Why did we do it without proper authority or without proper approval? So I think let's just be fair. Let's just do this the right way. And if it means calling off your vacation, then so be it.
But for those who are concerned, who think that from what they've seen with all of this build-up, that there is absolutely no way that the Senate or the National Assembly, House of Reps will reconvene, and this question of the leadership won't come up, and that in fact has the potential of overshadowing whatever request or whatever other requests.
So what's the alternative? They should stay on vacation till the elections of February. In February, of course they're going to come back. So if the question is going to come up, if they reconvene now, it's going to come up if they reconvene in September. Doesn't change anything. If the question is going to come up, it's going to come up either way. So you might as well reconvene for a good purpose.
So you don't
for the democratic patriotism call on duty to make sure that this is, so if it is going to come up now, it's going to come up later.
So you don't think that,
so why do you delay it?
You don't think that now that they're focusing, those committees are working on this other budget, it might as well just set the agenda so that they quickly consider that, as opposed to withdrawing from the committee, resume, let's look at it together, and then focus on it.
If you are resuming, why are you withdrawing from the committee? If you are resuming, you are not withdrawing anything from the committee.
So shouldn't we allow this? Shouldn't we allow the committee? Okay, go ahead, finish up in good time. We'll get back to the Senate.
Like I said, it's not mutually exclusive. It's not a zero-sum game. It's not as if this happens, this wouldn't happen. You can go both simultaneously at the same time. Like I said, it's optics. So 8 out of 10 Nigerians want it. 8 out
Which poll is this that you keep talking
about? It's on Daily Trust and a couple of few things that you keep citing. These newspapers that you believe so much in are the ones that are doing some of these polls.
So you don't believe in the newspapers?
No, I'm just saying the journalists, we all believe in newspapers, right? So it's newspapers.
How does this whole event playing out affect the possibility of having the elections come through?
No, elections are going to happen.
They will happen.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. If there's one president that I know for a fact, well, maybe that's the only president I know too personally, is President Muhammad Buhari. His dedication to this is unflinching. It's absolutely clear. There's going to be an election. It's going to be free and fair. The president is not going to interfere in any way. He's not going to use coercive forces or instruments of power. He's not going to use state authority apparatus or money to do anything in his own favor. He believed that he got it in 2015 out of the will of God and the will of Nigerians, and it's going to repeat itself in 2019. That I can assure you. And let me tell you how I believe that this is going to happen in so many ways.
Tell us.
I've been with the president for the last 10 years, and I joined partisan politics in 2004. So that's a year after he ran for the first time in 2003. And I do know for a fact how many numbers that we get from almost every state that we've gotten these numbers. And if you look at the trajectory right now, the president has two major advantages. Two major advantages. One, he has 4 years to go. So if he wins in 2019, he has only 4 years to go. It's a major advantage, and I'll explain why. Second, whoever it is that is going to be fielded by another major political party would probably be a northerner as well. In that case, those are two main advantages. Now, I'm speaking not as an SSA to the president, I'm not speaking as a member of BOT, I'm speaking as an ordinary Nigerian who understands this terrain a little well. These two advantages, you can't defeat the president with it. Because he has 4 years. All the southern politicians would rather wait for 4 years and get a shot in 2023 than get a new guy that will do 8 years and get a shot in 2027, in which case most of them will be retired. So they would rather go with the president. It's as simple as that. It's identity politics. It's a mind game. It's an interest-driven game.